Learn it before it is too late. Are you constantly chasing success, wealth, and status, only to feel that something's still missing? Have you ever wondered why some men seem to find peace and fulfillment, while others remain trapped in endless pursuit? The ancient Stoics discovered truths about life that many men realize only after wasting precious decades. Before we dive in, if you value wisdom that can transform your life, take a second to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Drop a comment saying "Stoic" so I know you're committed to this journey. Now let's explore these life-changing lessons together. Frugality is a form of freedom. How many men do you know who are drowning in debt to maintain an image? Luxury cars, designer clothes, and lavish lifestyles that keep them chained to jobs they hate. The Stoics understood that true freedom isn't found in possessions, but in mastering your desires. Seneca, despite being one of Rome's wealthiest men, practiced regular periods of voluntary poverty to remain grounded. Frugality isn't about being cheap, it's about conscious choice. When you distinguish between genuine needs and manufactured wants, you break free from consumerism's relentless grip. Every purchase becomes a deliberate decision, rather than an impulsive reaction to marketing. What would change in your life if you valued purpose over possessions? How might redirecting resources from status symbols to experiences and relationships transform your satisfaction? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Men who embrace frugality discover they need far less than they imagined to be happy. This realization doesn't usually dawn until midlife, when they've already sacrificed years chasing material wealth that failed to deliver promised fulfillment. True wealth lies in controlling desires rather than accumulating possessions. When you need less, you're free to work less, stress less, and live more authentically. Time is infinitely more valuable than money. Do you find yourself constantly postponing life, saying, "I'll spend time with family after this project," or "I'll pursue my passion when I'm financially secure"? This might be the most painful lesson men learn too late. While money can be earned, borrowed, invested, and regained, time vanishes forever once spent. No amount of wealth can buy back a single moment. Marcus Aurelius warned, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." The Stoics recognized life's brevity and uncertainty, urging us to value each day as potentially our last. Consider this. If you knew you had exactly 5 years left, would you continue living exactly as you are now? What would you change? Drop a 1 in the comments if you'd make significant changes to how you spend your time. Many successful men reach their 60s only to realize they've traded irreplaceable decades for financial abundance they have neither the health nor relationships to enjoy. They missed children's milestones, neglected marriages, and postponed passions, all for a future that arrived too late. Time allocation reveals true priorities better than any mission statement. Audit your calendar. Does how you spend time align with what you claim to value most? Financial independence trumps excessive wealth. What's your financial goal? A specific number or freedom from financial anxiety? Society glorifies billionaires and extravagant lifestyles, but Stoicism teaches that enough is plenty. Financial independence, having sufficient resources to live according to your values without external pressure, brings far more peace than endless accumulation. Epictetus, born a slave who later gained freedom, taught that wealth consists not in having extensive possessions, but in having few wants. This perspective transforms financial planning from "how can I get more" to "what's actually enough." Financial independence means different things to different people. For some, it's modest passive income that covers basic needs. For others, it's building a business aligned with their purpose. The key is defining enough by your values, not society's expectations. Have you determined your Enough number. What would true financial freedom look like in your life? Comment below with freedom if you're working toward financial independence rather than unlimited wealth. Many men discover too late that chasing astronomical wealth often requires sacrificing the very things that bring lasting satisfaction: health, relationships, moral integrity, and personal growth. True security comes from resilience, contentment, and the ability to adapt to changing circumstances, not from excessively padded accounts. Resilience, not avoidance, builds financial strength. When was the last time a financial setback completely derailed you? How did you respond? Life guarantees financial challenges. Market crashes, job losses, unexpected expenses, failed businesses. The Stoic approach isn't avoiding difficulty, but developing the strength to weather it. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way, wrote Marcus Aurelius. Financial setbacks viewed properly become opportunities to develop ingenuity, discipline, and emotional resilience. Stoicism's practical technique of negative visualization helps here. Regularly contemplating potential financial losses defangs their emotional impact when they actually occur and prevents complacency during prosperous times. Who do you admire for their financial resilience? Have you ever emerged stronger from a financial challenge? Share your experience by commenting "resilient" below. Financial resilience includes practical preparations, emergency funds, diversified income, simple living habits, but more importantly, it's cultivating the mental fortitude to face uncertainty without panic. Men often learn this lesson only after being broken by challenges they never mentally prepared for. Remember, financial setbacks aren't failures but feedback. They reveal vulnerabilities in your strategy and opportunities for growth. Responding with adaptability rather than rigidity transforms obstacles into advantages. Gratitude shifts financial perspective. Do you spend more time thinking about what you lack or appreciating what you have? The hedonic treadmill traps countless men in perpetual dissatisfaction. No matter how much they acquire, the initial pleasure quickly fades, leaving them hungry for more. Stoicism offers the antidote: gratitude practice. Epictetus advised, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." This simple perspective shift transforms financial psychology from scarcity to abundance. Daily gratitude practice, consciously acknowledging the resources, opportunities, and privileges you already enjoy, rewires your brain to recognize sufficiency rather than lack. It's not denying aspirations, but appreciating the journey. What financial resource are you most grateful for today? Is it reliable income, freedom from certain debts, or simply having enough for necessities? Comment grateful plus your answer below. Men frequently realize too late how much they actually had, while they were busy focusing on what they lacked. This awareness often arrives during significant loss, health problems, relationship breakdowns, economic downturns, when previous normal conditions suddenly appear as the abundance they always were. The gratitude practice isn't merely positive thinking, it's clear seeing. It recognizes privilege without guilt and acknowledges progress without complacency. This balanced perspective reduces financial anxiety and impulsive decisions driven by perceived scarcity. Wisdom and knowledge are essential financial tools. Be honest, how much have you invested in financial education compared to entertainment this year? Stoicism places supreme value on practical wisdom. For finances, this means developing literacy around budgeting, investing, economic systems, and psychological biases that influence financial decisions. "No man was ever wise by chance," said Seneca. Financial wisdom requires deliberate study and practice, Yet, many men approach financial decisions with less research than they devote to buying a television. The Stoics would view financial education as a moral responsibility, not to maximize returns, but to ensure resources are managed virtuously and rationally. Ignorance leads to impulsive decisions, driven by fear or greed rather than principle and understanding. Have you read any books on financial wisdom this year? What's the most valuable financial concept you've learned recently? Share your wisdom by commenting "Learning" below. Men frequently reach midlife having made critical financial errors that better knowledge could have prevented. Taking on excessive debt, failing to invest early, misunderstanding economic cycles, or falling prey to scams. They realize too late that financial education would have yielded far better returns than many of their actual investments. True financial wisdom isn't just technical knowledge, but clarity about the role of money in a good life. It's understanding enough economic principles to secure necessities, while preventing money concerns from dominating your consciousness. External validation is a trap. Does your self-worth rise and fall with your income or possessions? Do you feel uncomfortable when others have more? Many men tie their identity to financial metrics. Salary, net worth, car model, home size, seeking validation through visible success markers. Stoicism exposes this as a recipe for misery. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, taught Epictetus. True worth comes from character, not acquisitions. When self-esteem depends on external validation, you surrender control of your happiness to others' judgments. The Stoics would view status-seeking spending as contrary to wisdom. Every purchase made primarily to impress others represents a failure of self-sufficiency and clear thinking. How would your spending change if nobody would ever see your possessions? Would your career choices differ if nobody would ever know your salary? If you're willing to examine your motivations, comment "authentic" below. This realization typically arrives after decades of exhausting status competition, leaves men emotionally depleted despite outward success. They discover that impressing others provides momentary satisfaction but fails to deliver lasting fulfillment. Financial decisions driven by internal values rather than external validation lead to greater long-term satisfaction. When you stop financing the impression you want to make and start funding the life you want to live, everything changes. Contribution and purpose beyond self. Enrich life. What will matter more at life's end? What you accumulated or what you contributed? The final and perhaps most profound financial lesson concerns purpose. Stoicism teaches that humans find deepest fulfillment in contributing to something larger than themselves. Seneca observed that life is long if you know how to use it. Purpose transforms financial resources from ends to means, tools for creating meaning and value beyond self-interest. Many men initially focus exclusively on building personal wealth, only to discover later that using resources to benefit others through mentorship, philanthropy, creating meaningful products or supporting causes brings far greater satisfaction. This doesn't require massive wealth. Even modest resources directed toward purposeful contribution yield disproportionate fulfillment. The key is moving beyond self-focused consumption toward value creation and service. What cause or contribution would give deeper meaning to your financial journey? How might your resources serve something beyond personal comfort? Share your purpose by commenting "purpose" below. Men often realize too late that their greatest regrets involve not what they failed to acquire, but what they failed to give. Attention, knowledge, resources, and care that could have made a difference while they focused exclusively on personal gain. A life of accumulation without contribution leaves a peculiar emptiness that no additional wealth can fill. Yet even modest means directed toward meaningful contribution create a legacy far more valuable than impressive financial statements. Which of these lessons resonated most strongly with you? The tragedy isn't in learning them late, but in never learning them at all. Stoicism offers a transformative approach to finances, focused not on maximization, but on sufficiency, wisdom, and virtue. It promises not unlimited wealth, but something far more valuable, a life well lived, regardless of external circumstances. If you found value in these insights, please hit that like button, share with someone who needs this wisdom, and subscribe for more life-changing Stoic principles. Remember to comment below with which lesson spoke to you most powerfully. True wealth isn't measured in currency, but in how well you've used your resources, time, attention, and money in service of a worthwhile life. Start applying these principles today, regardless of your current financial situation. The best time to begin was 20 years ago. The second best time is now.